Canadians, Americans, members of the Commonwealth, and patriots the world over. Welcome to the show that tells you what they won't, exposing the fake news, conspiracies, and corruption within institutions that govern our lives, and red-pilling the nations one fact at a time. It's Weathering the Storm with your host, Canada's Red Pill, Billy Joyce.
If I was a baby, this is the look I'd have on my face right now. Uh-huh. You heard it right.
I'm back. First things first, I want to apologize to all the subscribers I had on YouTube prior to YouTube shutting down my channel. It's been an interesting year, to say the least. I went back and looked at the last videos that I had done on YouTube. It was in October of 2020. And of course, October of 2020, I didn't have this beautiful thing. I know, some people are going to say, shave. Well, it looks like we're going back to the dark ages anyway. So why shave? Why shave? I like the beard. I'm going for the Moses look. I'm trying to make it grow right down to my belly button. See if I can annoy my wife. Anyway. Sorry I've been gone for a year. When my YouTube channel got deleted, many of you know that I was having some issues within my family. Family members calling me racist, this, that, or the other thing. Family members stopping to talk to me. In my community with similar situations for telling the truth, you get ostracized. And it played a lot on my mind. It played a lot on my heart. And when my YouTube channel got deleted, I attempted uploading a few videos to BitChute. And I was having a hard time there. And at the time, there was no alternative to YouTube that I knew of. And there still isn't really, in the grand scheme of things. No other platform has the viewership or the following that YouTube has. So for a year, I kind of just sat back. Of course, October 2020 was prior to Donald Trump losing the election. October 2020 was prior to the Canadian government, the Canadian election that we just had, where the Canadian government, the Liberals, won again. It was prior to the provincial election in Nova Scotia, where we elected the Conservative Party, or the Progressive Conservatives in Nova Scotia, who turned around and implemented a vaccine passport. So needless to say, it's been a year that's left me feeling a little angry. So, with that being said, I'll be using YouTube mostly to update you on what I'm doing on other platforms. And if YouTube stops censoring people for telling the truth and censoring people's ideas and free speech, maybe I'll get back to doing live videos on YouTube, but I doubt it. Right now I'm looking into Vimeo, Patreon, other platforms. So I'm going to be doing the same thing I used to do. Look for me on Rumble. I'll do another update video soon. I'm going to include my Rumble channel in the description to this video. I'm trying to get on Gab. I'm also trying to get on Locals. I'm going to create a community on Locals. And I'm also going to try to do broadcasts through Patreon. And I'm going to try to set it up so that there's a subscription. For those of you who don't know, my wife recently lost her job because we're unvaccinated. And basically our government is telling us, well, if you don't want to take the 2 vaccines, you're going to be out of work. We're going to put you on unpaid leave of absence. So my wife, who's been paying into EI insurance for the better part of her adult life, is not even allowed to draw employment insurance, unpaid leave of absence, and if she doesn't get the jab within 2 or 3 weeks, they're going to terminate her position completely. So rather than send my wife to get what I believe is an experimental jab, we're both going to try to work at the social media thing and try to make social media my primary source of revenue. because even with the radio station that I'm managing full-time right now, that's another reason why I didn't really start a YouTube channel. I've been the only full-time staff at the radio station that I work for. And again, if you understand French, I ask you, please go to www.citufm.ca, and you can actually listen to my broadcast in the morning. I broadcast every morning from 7 to 9. That's Atlantic time, so 6 to 8 Eastern time. And every morning at 10 to 8 Eastern time, or 10 to 9, or 8:50, however you want to say it, 8:50 Atlantic time, I go on a rant in French about current affairs. So even though I'm working full-time at the radio station, I'm going to put in 13, 14, 15-hour days to be able to bring you the news that the mainstream media in Canada refuses to bring. And most of the mainstream media in the United States refuses to bring. And I'm not going to go into too many details here, because chances are I'll get some sort of strike on my very first video, or they might very well delete this channel altogether. So just to give you an update of what's coming, the first video I'm going to do on Rumble is going to be a recap of the last few videos I did back in 2020, and some of the things I said in there that were rather prophetic, and not in a good way. So I apologize to my fans who may or may not have missed me for the past year. I had 24,000 subscribers when YouTube deleted my channel. So if you're watching this, I ask you to subscribe here. I ask you to go to Rumble and subscribe there. I'm going to try to get active on BitChute again. I'll try it. Maybe they've cleaned up their platform and it's easier to upload things now. I'm also getting on Gab, Locals. I'm trying to develop a web page as well. So be on the lookout for canadasredpill.com. And I'm also thinking of possibly writing a book. But the bottom line is, I got to find a way to generate revenue to keep food on the table for myself, my wife, and my kids. And I am relaunching my social media presence in hopes that someday down the road, I can run my own social media company without worrying about anybody else signing my paychecks or telling me where I can and where I can't work. Right now in Canada, there are some provinces where grocery stores are actually being given the option of refusing service to anyone who doesn't provide a vaccine passport. Any Canadian who thinks it's okay to refuse food to someone because they don't want to take a vaccine, anyone who thinks that's okay, you might want to check your conscience. You might want to check your gut. Speaking of conscience and gut, that's one thing I'm going to do in these videos. I did it in past. I did it when I was active before, but one thing we're missing the boat on in Canada and in the US, it seems, is everyone's talking about the end of the virus, the end of the pandemic, the end of this, the end of government totalitarianism, etc., etc., etc. I'll tell you what, if we don't invite God back into our lives, if we don't start putting Jesus Christ at the center of our lives, nothing's going to change. It's only going to get worse. But I'll talk about that in videos on other platforms. So for the time being, I'm hoping I'll see you on Rumble or Patreon or somewhere else, and I'll see you here occasionally. But the main bulk of my work will not be done on YouTube. It's going to be done on Rumble and other channels that don't censor and don't have bots paying attention to every single word you say and watching your every single action. So hopefully you're happy to see me back. I know I'm glad to be back. And I'll see you in the next video. I'm done now. If you enjoyed this video, you may want to take a look at other videos you find on this page. Don't forget, if you like it, push the subscribe button under this video, and feel free to like and share with all your friends. Follow me on Twitter by following the link on this page. If you want to interact, feel free to post a comment, but please, no obscenities. Thanks for watching. Billy Joyce signing off and reminding you that I'm here to help you weather the storm.